Alright, let's beef up this little program to also take input from your terminal, from your serial monitor. Okay, so start out by adding the serial.begin at the top, and then all we want to do is figure out how to get this number from the prompt. So the function we're going to use, and I'll just add a little comment, is serial.available, and also serial.read. So we'll start off with a little if statement. If serial.available, this just means that your serial monitor has information for the program. Then we will declare a variable called readNum for read number, and we will read from serial what that number is. Now there would be a problem if we just left it like this, because the Arduino is just going to read from the monitor, and when you type into the monitor, you type letters and numbers, and it sees those as ASCII values, which are not going to be what we want. So to convert that to our real number, and I'll call that variable actual num, we will set it to the read number, and then this is a little voodoo, and we subtract the ASCII value for 0. And all that does is give us the proper integer that we want. So there would be a problem if we typed letters instead of numbers, but just make sure to only use this program for numbers. And the way it currently is, actual num will only be able to hold single-digit numbers. So what we want to do is, while there is more left to read, so while serial.available, we want to multiply actual num by 10. So multiple num actual num equals actual num times 10. And then we want to add the next value read. So actual num equals actual num plus serial.read. So the next value read will then be added into the ones place. So this makes sense, right? If you typed in 90 into your monitor, first actual num would be 9, and then we would want to multiply that so that 9 moves over one spot to the tens place, and then we add the next value, which would be 0, into the ones place. So then you would have 9, 0. So then your actual num variable is going to hold the actual number that you need. So then here, let's take out this int part. I actually already declared actual num up there, so then we can just use actual num instead of redeclaring it. And then so after this little if statement runs, I'll make a comment. Actual num holds the number from serial monitor. Okay, so then we can just change the variable name in our for loop. So actual num is the num that we are dealing with. Actual num equals actual num div2. So the way this code is now, there's actually still a couple problems. I forgot to add the subtracting the ASCII value for 0 here at the other read number. And then we also are going to need some delays spread throughout. So let's just add a 2 millisecond delay after the first read and the second read, and then after each subsequent read. Because if you don't have a delay, the Arduino is not going to realize that there's something available until it's already moved on. So we need that delay to make sure it waits for the next number. And then, since I changed actual num down here, and actual num is getting put down to 0 every time, if we run this code now, it's just going to think it's trying to display 0. So we actually need a temporary number. So int temp number equals actual num. And that way, actual num will not be changed in this block of code. So I will change every value. Okay, so I fixed all my little problems and the code works. I just tested it, and I will show you a video of it in action. So just a tip, if you're watching this video, this might come in handy for the final project for this module.